So let's talk about crypto for a bit here. And the biggest question that's been coming up in my realm has been, why are cryptos dropping? I grabbed some extensions here from, recently. If you go to the internet, type in why are cryptos dropping, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a version of this depending on whether you're using Safari, whether you're using Firefox, whether you're using Chrome, and then of course what search engine is going to bring you those results. But it's going to look something like this. Bitcoin sheds another 4% as of Monday. Okay, more than the 1 month low. And then you see the Wall Street Journal says Bitcoin falls towards 61,000. And so again, they're seeing lowest end day in more than a month. All right. Hey, they're right. I double checked that. And then BlackRock's got something out there that says unprecedented Fed warning, which they're seeing. And this is basically after the cut from 6.25 to 3.125 Bitcoin. That's actually a positive. I'm not sure how that came up in here with everything else. But I'm, of the three things you see here, I'm more interested in that 6.25 to 3.125 change, because although that went from rumor, really not rumor, it was projected news to news. And here we are, 6 weeks, 2 months after that, and we're seeing price drops. That's typical, folks. That is typical of this particular cycle with Bitcoin, where we see this this buy the rumor, sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. We're going to go into a quiet period. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But why has everything dropped? Okay. Well, I could give you the short answer: more sellers than buyers, because that's what it is. But if you were to go out and ask, and look around and try to find out why, these are three things that are really happening that are helping the sellers take control of Bitcoin, the sellers take control of Ethereum, and altcoins as well. Okay, so here's some things that have gone on. German Bitcoin sales. So the German government seized, was it 50,000 Bitcoins in the past. They put those up for sale. That's about a $3 billion hit to the markets. And so when you put that kind of number out there, and it's already happened, we saw that drop down, was it late last week? And so it looks like that was the German sale that ended up happening. Now, the other thing that's going on too, and this isn't going to cause, it did cause a move to the markets, but not from the sale. I think it's more from the concern that people that are going to get their repayments from Mt. Gox. Remember Mt. Gox? What was it, a decade ago that Mt. Gox was seized? Well, the trustees or whoever's taken over the proceedings of closing this company, now they're going to start repaying back some of the investors, some of what they lost. There's over $8 billion in repayments that are going out. And it's the idea that these people are going to turn around and sell this, when they get it, just to put the cash in their pockets, that's causing some problems. And so you've got these two things happening, and then you've got the institutions, and I'm talking about the BlackRocks, the Invescos, the Fidelities, all the folks that have spot ETFs. So they're getting outflows that are happening right now, maybe a little bit more than inflows. And you've got a lot of whales that are just sitting on the sidelines, but whales always sit on the sidelines. I'm not even sure why that's even being news. Tell me that when the whales start selling, that'll be news. But the whales really aren't doing anything. They haven't done anything for quite some time. This pushed the greed and fear index from bullish, all right, a couple months ago, to slightly bullish to now neutral at a 49. Okay, let's look at some charts. Now, last week I showed you this chart really hasn't changed at all, other than the fact that we are now down to around the 60,000 mark. I still have 57,000 area. All right, we broke through the 65 support that was the monthly support last week. 57,000 is the number that's on my radar right now, which is a really good hold. That is the lows for the month of May. And so we see that as and very well could see Bitcoin gravitate to that. I'd love to see it stay above that. I'd love to see it stick around the 60,000 mark. And the reason why is that if we continue to see higher lows, then we should continue to see higher highs. But we're having some trouble getting above those March highs of 73,500. Okay. That's okay though, because I still see not days out, not weeks out, but months out, those highs at that minimum high of 87,000. All right. To 109 for Bitcoin resistance. And that's looking at, we're going back and you're seeing years here, right? This is the highs in 2017. This is the lows that happened in 2019 and again in 2020, where we had that quick move down because of COVID. Then there's your highs that happened in the 60,000 marks in 2021. Pullback, new highs, 69,000. Big pullback. You know what that was? That was Luna. That was some of the digital currencies. And of course, FTX was part of that as well. Took us down to around 18,000. And then we moved higher and then moved up into the 73.5 mark. All right. 87 to 109 is what we see for Bitcoin months from now. Ethereum, haven't changed the target there yet either. Ethereum's actually stronger, and I'll show in a moment. It's a little bit stronger to Bitcoin, and there's a reason why. But we got that May support at 2850. There's your resistance at 4,000. Target, round number target at 5,000. That shorter term, we see 5,700 on the longer term target. Again, really targeting out there during that last quarter of 2024. So, you know what? I love buying into moves where we're moving higher, and I just kind of jump on that northbound train rather than it seems a lot better if I'm running. If the train's moving in my direction, I'm running and I jump on the train, then me and the train are moving in the direction I want to move in. I'd rather do that than stand in front of a train and have it coming right at me, hoping it's going to stop and let me get on and then move in the opposite direction. So when I want to take advantage of a market that's moving in my direction, then one of the ways to do that is with a stop order. And a stop order is a way of really just having your platform. In this case, I'm talking about Coinbase. When an asset trades up to a level that you like, that you want to buy into, once it hits that level, it immediately targets your order to be placed. And this is a stop limit order. And a stop limit order means that, a buy stop means we're going to buy when we hit a certain level. The stop price would be that level. So for instance, if I'm looking at what I got here on the screen, I'd be buying. I have stop limit set up and ready to go. My stop price means if we hit 73,500, that's an all-time high for Bitcoin. Hey, I'd like to get in because I think a lot of shorts are going to get pulled out of it at that time. And you're going to see a lot of retail traders jumping back in because it's going to be all the news when we hit all-time highs. So I'd love to be able to get this at 73. If we hit 73.5, then give me a limit price at 73.5. What that means is if we move up to 73.5, it targets a limit order at that point. That way I'm not overpaying for something. I want to get it at that all-time high if I can. And, that's your stop price. That's the target. That's the setup. The limit price is the trade. The other notables that I wanted to mention is that, it's up to you to decide what you would want to put into cryptocurrency. But again, you could pay for it with obviously your currency of choice. If you have Coinbase, I have some of my Coinbase money sitting on the side in cash, but also have some of it in that digital currency, USDC. So, you could use that as a form of payment. But again, a buy stop allows you to get into the market when it's moving in your direction. Okay. Quick little summary on crypto. So double-digit pullbacks. We've done the work. We've seen this happen after halving. We've had several halvings in the past. We've seen several double-digit pullbacks happen. This has happened before. Our eyes are turning towards the longer term, okay? Meaning that we're looking at not days, we're looking at months. Not days or weeks, but months into the future. And so ETH, Ethereum, that's now going to be really centered because people are looking at that spot product, which could be announced sometime in July. And I think that's what's causing Ethereum to be a little stronger, even in these pullbacks, than Bitcoin right now. I think Ethereum is going to become it's going to go from the caboose to the engine of this train. And Bitcoin will be riding on the heels of Ethereum here in the coming months. All right. And finally, stop orders. Like I said before, they're designed to use when an asset is moving in your direction. So there is my crypto report for you.